have subreddits that are banning you, who exactly are you going to market to? So I reached out to the mods of the top not safe for work subreddits to directly ask them about this, if they were pleased by this, and they had some opinions. So the person, I'm going to name the subreddit, and this was the mod response that I got back at R Gone Wild. The mod said, "We don't allow any for-profit accounts. Anyone who breaks that rule will be banned." At our Busty Petite, if it breaks our rules, it will get removed, and you'll get potentially banned. At our Real Girls, any user that is caught using that kind of service will get permanently banned. And then he mentioned to me that he runs a whole bunch of other subreddits, not safe for work subreddits, and he says, "Don't worry, I'll ban them on those as well." And on our Petite Gone Wild, they would ban accounts for spammy messages, and you'd be gone. And one person that reached out to me, and I reached out to them, and they just happened to also be the moderator of OnlyFans 101, and they made a lot of great points. And I want to read directly what was written back to me of basically the negatives of this kind of service. She stated, the mod of OnlyFans 101, "If your post breaks a rule, you will likely not get the removal message from the bot, as a third party is making your posts. This can lead to a user getting their account banned by the moderators, as we think that you read the messages about the issues and ignored them." Secondly, she said, "If a user is using automation, they are likely using between 1 to 3 pictures and likely the same title for all their promotion. This will turn users off of a model. When they visit their profiles, it will look like a bot, which it sort of is, even though the girl is real." And then third, she says, "User interaction in capital letters is everything. If a post scheduler is used, it's likely the model isn't responding to comments or interacting with the viewers in the post body. The less interactive a model is, the more people are suspicious of the account being a spam or bot account." And, basically she's saying this is not something that's going to work. Now, it will seem like it's going to work. And like I mentioned, it's not just FanCharm. There's a later for Reddit. There's a couple different companies that are popping up, and they are particularly targeting OnlyFans creators for these services. I will say that FanCharm particularly is all about OnlyFans creators. Some of these other ones are not. I went on to FanCharm's Discord server. There were people popping in, every hour asking questions. I thought it was really great because it actually seemed to be turning into a little bit of a question answer area. I wish that there was one on Discord that existed like that, without the profit motive, because I think that would be really great. But overall, nothing that is automated like this is going to work long term. So you're going to gain this little bit of benefit, but your account, think about it. If the top 5 not safe for work accounts, you basically say ban, 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 ban. And what you might not know is most of the moderators that are in not for safe for work accounts, they mod 5, 6, 10, 20 of these. They're everywhere. So if you anger one mod, it's possible to get yourself just banned all over the place. Now you have an account. You can't use it. Oh no, you did not get flagged. Reddit did not kick your account, but now you have nowhere you can actually post. And that's the biggest issue for me. And that's why I just consider this to be yet another rush to, it's not stealing. What they are doing is they're actually providing a legitimate service. But what you as an intelligent marketer knows is that this is not an intelligent system to use, because it has more downsides than it does upsides. And you're just going to have people ignoring your posts. And as the wonderful moderator of OnlyFans 101 mentioned, people are going to think you're a bot. They're going to not think you're a real person. And Reddit is a community. And I'll say, I'm not just going to go into Reddit or Red etiquette, as they like to call it, but Reddit is not a promotion platform. It is a different social media animal than any other social media site. And so you have to, if you do want to promote yourself, and I have definitely said, hey, it's a good place for promotion, but it's not about self-promotion. And the difference there is that you're able to show yourself, you're able to post pictures, and you're able to get people interested in you, and you're able to then interact with them and add value to the community. And then by adding value to the community, if they decide to subscribe to your OnlyFans or go check out your OnlyFans, great. So everyone has won there. Okay, so now I'm going to go over just how to spot scams. Just a real quick list to how to spot these higher level scams. Okay, one is there is no identifiable human being associated to something. If you cannot find a president, an owner, a person that is invested and then be able to track down and figure out who they are online in 2021, they're not real, and that's a big red flag. Two, there is no history of the company. So if you're looking at buying something and the company has just popped up out of absolute nowhere, and I will say that things are new when it comes to OnlyFans, so I can understand if something's only been around a year and a half, but if it just popped up 2 months ago, and again, you can't find that the person associated to it has been doing anything having to do with marketing in any industry, then that's a problem. There has to be a history of the company that you can be able to track before you, especially if you're giving people thousands of dollars. You definitely want to know that there's a history there. Third, the person or company has no community validation. You can't go anywhere and see, that anyone else has said anything good about them. If you ask other creators about that company, they've never heard of them, or they don't know anyone they can ask that's heard of them. This is a problem. Fourth, the person has no credentials to be offering the services. So if you're looking at someone and you're saying, this person, why are they offering OnlyFans services? Why are they offering marketing service, promotion service? Do they have any credentials to this? And then fifth, the person was doing something totally unrelated a year or a month ago. So if basically you're looking and they're doing like I mentioned, like cannabis education, and now all of a sudden they're doing OnlyFans, it's like, and I'll say if you're doing like marketing and now you're doing OnlyFans marketing, well, OnlyFans is brand new, so it makes sense. But if you're doing something completely unrelated, that's a problem. And then 6, the reviews are only on the website with no third-party oversight. I will say this, there are 3 or 4 different sites that just run reviews for businesses, for legitimate businesses. And they can connect to those, and those sites validate and make sure that those reviews are real. If the only reviews on a website are the ones they wrote themselves with no validation, no oversight, that's a problem. And number 7, someone is using a celebrity status to promote something. Again, if the only thing that has to do with the success of the venture is one person, like a celebrity, who has no credentials other than being famous to run a company or to offer a service, that's a problem. And 8, the price is either ridiculously too high or ridiculously too low. So if what you're looking at and you're saying, wow, how am I getting all this for $10? Or wow, why is this so expensive? Because again, like I said, it will convince you that it will work because it's so expensive. And just as a last note, Tiga announced in December that he was starting an OnlyFans management company called Too Raw. Nothing's been heard since December about this. If you Google this, nothing. So something tells me that it didn't get off the ground, as there is nothing, out there about it now. And this is exactly the kind of thing that I'm speaking of. The credentials aren't there. It doesn't make sense. Just because you are good at one thing does not mean that you're going to be good at another thing. All right, so as always, we're going to close the episode out at a listener question. So a listener in Detroit, Michigan asks, I am stoked to have made it to the top 32% after a couple of weeks, but I've only made a couple $100 so far. Does this mean the majority of creators don't make anything? And at what percentage does one start making a livable wage? All right, so it's absolutely true that the majority of OnlyFans creators make, $100, $200 a month. Now, that's because the majority of OnlyFans creators do this as a side hustle, a side gig. They have, their own careers or their own jobs, and this is extra income. Obviously, as most things are a bell curve. Bell curve is basically that the majority of people, are not making a ton, of money, and that, the success is going to be at those at the highest end who have the most social clout, and they're going to gain most of the money. So at what percentage, I'm not exactly sure what a livable wage is for you. It's going to be very different for a lot of people. I will say that chances are people who don't have other means of income but just are in the top 1% do make enough money to live. Certainly. Now, if you take like the top 5%, I think depending on what you are trying to make, but I would definitely say that people in the top 1%, that's where they can make something that's livable. But I wouldn't put too much pressure on yourself if you just started this a couple of weeks ago. I would say that you should be utilizing this as like a part-time job, as something that you're building up and you're hoping to be able to grow over time. Okay, so that was the episode, The Rush to Steal OnlyFans Creators' Money. As I mentioned, there is a blog at seobounty.com/blog, more about Ready Set Cam, which you can check out. And as always, you can check out this podcast on Instagram at OnlyFans Secrets Podcast. You can also find us on Reddit at r/OnlyFans Secrets. As always, we are on OnlyFans itself as well at onlyfans.com/OnlyFansHero. Please follow and subscribe on there for free to get the latest updates on this podcast. You can also find us on TikTok at OF Secrets Podcast. And as always, we are on Twitter at OnlyFans Hero, where you can find now promos every 10 minutes. Yes, I am on it. Every 10 minutes, you can post your links and pictures. I wanted to kind of make OnlyFans Hero a place where it's kind of like OnlyFans Live. Like whoever's on there, whoever's on their page, people will know, so they'll be able to subscribe because they'll say, oh, okay, this person's actually on right now and I can jump on. So either on Twitter. So that's the goal now for OnlyFans Hero. And we also have the OnlyFans podcast Twitter as well. And as always, if you have any questions about this podcast, please reach out to me at OnlyFans Hero. If you have questions for our episode or about our company or anything, feel free to reach out that way at OnlyFans Hero. As always, I appreciate you guys listening to this podcast. Again, my name is Richard Lewis. I'm the owner of SEObounty.com. And I really just appreciate you guys listening. If you have an opportunity to leave a review for this podcast, please do so. And I really hope you guys have a great and successful week.